Some might suggest that life is simply a drag for Meghan Markle right now. She literally left the British monarchy and thought she was going to become an international superstar. Now, whichever way you look at it, and I see it from a marketing point of view as someone who's worked in that genre for many years, you couldn't really deny the fact that she has a name. I mean, whether you agree with what the name stands for is a totally different matter, but she's certainly out there and everybody now knows Meghan Markle. They certainly don't really relate to her as the Duchess of Sussex or indeed, perhaps what she would like to be known as Princess Henry. Either way, she's managed to get herself, there. There's no two ways there. But it's interesting to note that now they have to shift focus. And by shifting focus, what you have to do is try and make people now like you, understand you, and get a platform which shows something of a different genre. We saw this really when you think about it with Meghan when she tried to sit down and do comedy with the disgraced chat show host Ellen DeGeneres, who's now gone back to stand-up allegedly. First for everything, I would imagine. But what's interesting here is that Meghan's now looking for something that's even more explosive to show her fun side. But after playing a kitten and licking milk and all that sort of stuff, really? Is there anything left to expose? Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Let's have a quick wave. You all right? Thank you so much for joining me today. I always find these stories fascinating really because reinvention's a very hard thing to do unless you're Madonna and you can literally change the look every single time, It's hard. The public really make a perception of you very early on and either they want you to stick with that, the way you dress, the way you act, all that sort of stuff, and if you try and change it, it can be bad. People don't think this, but it's true. If you think about Julie Andrews, she's forever known in The Sound of Music as sweet and saccharine. She tried to change that with Victoria. A lot of people didn't like it, and that followed, of course, with SOB. I'll leave it there. Love Dame Julie Andrews, but you know what I'm saying. Now, Meghan Markle apparently is very keen, and her team are very keen to secure a slot on this particular show, which is a worldwide hit with a cult following. RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, if you don't know it, it's a format that basically has drag queens performing, and then they get crowned winners, and it's very successful in a certain type of genre. No two ways about it. And they have celebrity guest judges, right? And these guest judges really just pop on and, have a lot of fun. And it's great in many respects. It's very good for their profile because the show gets huge ratings, particularly on online clicks and taps into an untapped market, some people might say. Apparently her team will be very keen for Meghan to be one of the guest judges. However, I've been told, and as ever we have to say allegedly, but you know who I mean, RuPaul, that they'd really like Meghan and Harry. They think that he would be the real catch to sit on that judging panel alongside himself and Michelle Visage. And you can understand that. And it goes back to what I've told you before. Without Harry, Meghan is really a bystander, a bit part. And that's the problem. But of course, the team have to somehow reiterate this back to her without being offensive. How on earth do you tell somebody, actually, they only want the one of you, and it's not you? Seemingly, though, life may not be a drag for much longer because who knows? Ratings are ratings, it gets exposure, and a lot of people are looking for new ways to try and get televisual audiences to click into their shows. Would Meghan, of course, on a drag show, literally, be the answer? It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.